So, I'm back. Here's the question. How do you know if you're dealing with a 304? First of all, what's a 304? Type the letters or the numbers 304 into any calculator. Turn the calculator upside down, and you know what a 304 is. Enough said. But I got a couple of key points to let you know that you may be dealing with, married to, dating, talking to, seeing a 304 undercover. Point number one, her friends. If by chance the girl you're with has friends and you don't know who they are, or you are never around them, you never have conversations with them, that's a red flag. Why is that a red flag? Because she knows that most men know that birds of a feather flock together. Meaning, if they're out there in the streets, she's out there in the streets, or was out there in the streets with them. That's why they're friends. You don't see an eagle flying with a falcon. You don't see a bat flying with a blue jay. Okay? All the same type of people, they have similar characteristics. They hang together. So, when you look at those girls, her friends, and they're out there, chances are they have something in common with yours. That's a red flag. Another thing is, a lot of times those type of women are extremely jealous and insecure, which means if she knows her friends are that way and she knows that you might be her friend's type, she might not let you be around her friends just because she's scared that y'all might do something, and she just wants to alleviate that situation as well. But either way, if her friends is like that, then what is she like? You know what I mean? That's the first key point. Point number two, social media. Who, what she follows on social media tells you a lot about her. If she says things like, oh, it's just entertainment, that is partially true. I mean, some people are on social media and it's not entertainment, it's business. Some people are on social media to just keep in touch with their distant family relatives. Okay? So that is not true to say that it's just entertainment, because there are people that are on social media that have no interest in the entertainment part of it. All right? When you say that's what social media is for, that's not what social media is. That's one of the things social media is for, and dictated by how you use social media. So if she's on there following certain types of guys, commenting, yeah, I mean, you'd be like, oh, she's just liking pictures. Think about what it takes for you to go ahead and say, I'm going to like that picture. And multiple pictures on a specific person's page is literally just an indicator of interest. It's like a girl batting her eyes at you or something like that. That person's going to see the same person liking multiple pictures, and then they're going to be like, oh, okay, now I can engage that person. That's what she's doing. Okay, doesn't mean that she's going to sleep with the guy, but you always have to ask yourself, why do you need that type of validation if you're dealing with me? Even if you weren't dealing with me, even if you're single, you really need that type of validation? You need a guy to like you that badly that you go to those lengths? I mean, it's kind of thirsty looking to me, but you know, she's allowed to do what she wants to do. But I'm just giving you the heads up. When she does stuff like that, I mean, there are certain pages that if she's liking those pages, if she's following these pages, I mean, there's certain people, like if a girl is following, and this is no disrespect to the guy, because his page is cool. He knows his demographic. He knows what he's doing. But what I'm saying is, most of the people that follow the respectfully guy, most of them, his demographic, who he's putting his content out for, are 304s. Okay, period. Like, we can debate this all day, but the content that he makes resonates very well with 304s, and that's why they flock to him. If she thinks that that is entertaining and she's following him, liking a lot of his posts, she's allowed to do that. But I'm just saying, that's another red flag. I mean, he's not the only person. I just use him as an example in this case. But there are plenty of people, pages like that. You're in trouble. That's two red flags. Let me stick with that real quick. Let me piggyback off the last one. Also, if she has private social media accounts, dude, let me ask you a simple question. Why, if you're single or if you're dating me, who are you hiding any of you? I mean, this notion that, oh, I don't want people to know my business. When you're on social media, that's what social media is. That's actually what social media is for. To know what people's business is. That's why you follow somebody. That's why you hit the notifications. Okay? That's what it's for. So for her to say, I just don't want people to know my business. No, hon. Your page is private because you're hiding something from somebody. Something that you don't want somebody to know. Whether it's your ex, your baby daddy, or dudes that you're dealing with that I don't know about, or you don't know about as her boyfriend or the guy that's talked to her. Either way, one of those reasons is completely red flag. You don't need to have a private page. If you're not doing anything wrong, and if you are truly single or you're taken, there's nothing to hide, because the person, if you're taken, the person that you're with should know everything that you do. And if you're single, who are you hiding anything from in the first place? Who cares? Why does it matter that anybody sees it? Your ex, why would it matter? It matters because something's fishy. The last one was just a piggyback off of, because it was still talking about social media. So this one is actually number 3. And this is huge, okay? This may be the biggest tell, because it's more psychological. A lot of times if you have a girl who used to be out there, alright, she used to ride the carousel, if you know what I mean, and now she tries to be a wifey or whatever, and settle down with you. Truthfully, she's going to start missing that life. She's going to start missing going out. She's going to start missing those types of guys. She's going to start missing that attention, those friends. She's going to start missing those things. And that, in and of itself, is what's going to make her sad. But here's the kick. She doesn't want to seem like a bad person. So if she's sad about that while she's with you, for her to just go do those things out of the blue makes her a bad person, or looks like a bad person. And for her to just dump you to go do those things also makes her look like a bad person. She doesn't want to feel that way. She doesn't feel like she's a bad person. So what she does do is this. Since nobody can make anybody completely happy, nobody is 100% of anything that a person asks for in a spouse, she's already got things about you that she wishes was different. All right, but here's the kicker. This is what she'll do. This is crazy. She's ultimately sad about wanting to be back out in the streets. However, she's going to come to you about issues that she has with you. All right? Issues that she's been had. Now, she might not like these things about you, but they're not deal breakers. But they're deal breakers in the sense of now, because she really wants to do that. So she needs something to start with you. Now, here's the kick. She'll tell you she's not happy. She'll tell you the things that you did that makes her not happy, or the things you don't do that makes her not happy. And when she does that, you're in a lose-lose situation at that point. Because if you do not change, if you are a man, a masculine man, you won't change. Okay? Because you know that you aren't actually responsible for her happiness. Of course, at times you try to make her happy, but ultimately her happiness is her responsibility, period. Okay? And if you don't change, she uses that as the excuse to leave you. Because now she can say, I brought it to you. I tried everything I could. I told you what was wrong. I told you what I didn't like. You didn't do anything about it. So I'm going to go ahead and try to be happy. No. She wanted to go do that. But here's the thing. If you do try to change, if you do try to change the thing and do the things that she wants, she secretly despises you, and then she'll lose respect for you. She's going to lose respect for you. But she secretly despises you because she didn't want you to do that. Okay? So it's just going to be stockpiled on. Now when you change, now you're going to look like now you're going to look like a wimp. And she can't respect a wimp. She's with a wimp. Right? So once you do that, she'll just keep piling on things that she doesn't like. She doesn't like until she ultimately still leaves. And then she'll say something like, we grew apart. We just grew apart. I don't know. We grew apart. But she's going to go do what she wanted to do. If she's a 304, chances are you don't have a real solid chance of being in a serious situation with her long term until after the age of, I would say, today's there, probably 44. I mean, these girls out here 38, 39, 40 years old, still hitting. They think that, they'll say this is what they do. They used to go to the bars and the clubs, and then they say, oh, I ain't bound for that scene. I'm going to the lounge. The lounge is nothing but bars and clubs for old people. The people that used to be at the clubs and stuff, now they're going to lounges. Just same thing, same crowd, just older crowd. Same thing. Don't fall for that. Don't fall for that. Okay? If she keeps breaking up with you, then come and try to come back to you. She breaks up with you for that stuff, don't let her come back. Because what she does is this. She's going to go out there, be back in the streets, get what she's going to get from her friends, that attention, probably getting dealt with by a couple of dudes, how she likes it, and then she's going to try to go back to the good girl wifey type with you again, and then everything's going to be okay. No, bro. No. Red flag. And finally, the last one I have, fourth point. You guys are separated, and she's doing things that are very questionable, very 304-ish, right? And she says, I'm allowed to do what I want. I'm single. She's for the streets. And I don't even like saying for the streets, but I mean, you know what I mean when I say it. Let her go. She's gone, bro. Because being single has nothing to do with acting like a 304. Being single just means I'm not your man, or you don't have a man. But not having a man doesn't mean you act a certain way. It does not mean that. It doesn't mean that at all. Not having a man doesn't mean you go twerking, and that has nothing to do with not having a man. That has to do with your character, your personal character. There are plenty of women who are single who do not do 304 stuff. There are plenty of them. So if you're doing 304 stuff, if you're liking specific types of pictures, if you're commenting on them, these posts, listen, If that's your girl or your ex that you're trying to get back with, trust me when I tell you it's gonna hurt, but you gotta go. You gotta let that go. It's gonna hurt, but it's gonna hurt you longer in the long run to stick with her and go through this, because it's going to keep continuing. A woman that says, I can do what I want because I'm single, and the things that she wants to do is those things. See, I always say this. Yeah, you can do what you want, but that's what you want to do? Because I don't want a woman that wants to do that kind of stuff. Simple as plain. Like, if that's the stuff that you want to do, then no, I wouldn't want to be with a woman like that. Plain and simple. That's clear. You gotta ask yourself that. If she's doing things that you wouldn't want your woman to do, just because, and her reasoning for it is, oh, I'm single? Okay. She's talking to certain, like, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to just say I'm single, so I did that. Single doesn't justify doing anything except for saying that you're single. If somebody asks you, are you dating somebody, you say, I'm single. That's the only thing that being single means in reality. So if she's doing other stuff, dude, let her go, man. Work on yourself. Follow me. I'll help you out. Peace.